Hello everyone and welcome to my channel once again. So today we are gonna have a look at the most overpowered, the strongest sorceress build you can ever make. It is so overpowered that if you take your controller or your mouse and keyboard and give it to your unborn child, that child will literally destroy Waystones, T16, T17, whatever, right after you finish the act and open the endgame. It is that overpowered. You need one brain cell, and you will still dominate the game. You will turn this game into a game that Diablo 4 players will laugh at for being too easy. Yes, it is that OP, but unfortunately what you need is money, and you need shit ton of it. Because yeah, the items needed for this build, and then you could almost say it doesn't matter what skill tree you go for or what's like the rest of your items. I mean, obviously it matters, but yeah, after you get these three items that I'm about to show you, you're done. You finish the game. You finish the game. Okay, so the first item, and I was lucky enough to get this one, and I mean almost everyone can probably get this one, and that's the Everlasting Gaze amulet. It costs like 1 divine orb, and I got like 3 just leveling up, you know. So like by the time I finished Act 3 Cruel, I had 3 divine orbs. I did waste 2 of them, okay? At the time, the currency exchange, it was like 5 exalted per 1 divine orb. And I was like, I need some exalted to buy more gear because my gear sucks, you know? And I traded 2 divine orbs for 10 exalted, and now it's like 100 exalted for 1, okay? So, yeah. Either way. You can probably afford this amulet. This amulet is super strong. It allows for really overpowered synergy that I still think should not be possible. But when you're playing Eldritch Battery, right? What it does is that it converts all energy shield to mana. Okay, which is what we want, right? Because mana with Archmage and with Arcane Intensity equals more damage, right? And we want to see those numbers. Literally, GGG, we want to see those numbers. Allow the numbers. But no, we just want to kill everything super fast, right? Like faster than the flesh would. And so yeah, we want a lot of mana. And normally this would be like high risk, high reward kind of skill, especially if you're playing Chaos Inoculation. It's probably not Inyo. But yeah, this item allows for Eldritch Battery as well as having Energy Shield, and you can scale Energy Shield through a lot of the passives to like insane values, right? You just get like the maximum Energy Shield, you know. I do not get it everywhere. I try to like balance my Everlasting Gaze build so that you have, you know, good damage and good survivability as well. But yeah, this allows for really OP interaction, right? Because you are not supposed to have Energy Shield, and I still think that the amulet should just give you Energy Shield, you know, based on your mana, and then immediately turn the Energy Shield back to mana, and you should still have just 1 life and no Energy Shield. I think that's how it's supposed to work. And even then, it would still be extremely overpowered or like extremely strong pick DPS wise, because the amount of mana it would give you would still give you like 50 or higher more DPS increase on your Archmage and, you know, your other abilities that scale from mana, which is extremely powerful. So I really believe this should be reworked. Okay, but this item is just cherry on the top. You know, if I had the other 2, or probably even without the other 2, I will stop using this, because, you know, after testing my max DPS build, and I talked about this in the previous video already, and after testing my Everlasting Gaze build, I do like the max DPS one more, because it deals more damage. I'm a sucker for damage, you know, and Like eventually, when you get super high gear, you will probably not notice because everybody will die in 0.1 second, right? But yeah, like early end game or even just adventuring through the cruel acts, the max DPS build felt so much better, much more fun. But yeah, if you're playing on a toaster like myself, the energy shield allows for more leeway. You know, you have more defensives, it's more forgiving, so it's definitely a good pick. But yeah, like I said, cherry on the top. Okay, this item you could say garbage compared to the other two, garbage. Now I have the other two listed in my planner, but they are not in the actual equipment. Okay, I just have them written down as like what you want, but I also say that you will probably never get them unless you're really lucky. So let's have a look at those items. Okay, so what we want is yeah, here. Okay, so like I said, the Everlasting Gaze Amulet. Okay, let's search again. This is probably an old one. You can get for 1 divine, right? Obviously you want as high value here on the gain max mana as extra energy shield as possible. I think I have like 26%. So try to look for those. It might cost more, but as you can see, you know, a lot of the values, you know, jump up and down. It's still 1 divine, so yeah. But now, Ingenuity Utility Belt. Okay, now this belt, what it does is that, well, first of all, and this is already pretty good, 20% of flask recovery applied instantly. That's super good for managing our mana, because yeah, we don't have to wait for the flask to, you know, give us the mana over time. We will get 20% instantly, and that will help us, you know, pump more damage during, for example, Mana Tempest, etc. Or it will help us save ourselves if we are out of energy shield or we are not using it at all, you know, and our mana is our only source of defensive through Mind Over Matter, not Manner, Mind Over Matter, right? So if we have that, our mana is also our life. So it's very powerful to have the instant flask recovery as like yeah, like a safety, you know, defensive, basically. But what's super overpowered on this item is the increased bonuses gained from equipped rings. Okay, now this one only gives you 38%, but this can go up to 80%. Okay, up to 80%. That's obviously what you are aiming at. Now someone is completely crazy. I'm direct whispering this guy. I'm direct whispering this guy. 77%, 5 exalted. I don't even have 5 exalted, but I will get them in any way possible if this guy is gonna answer. What the hell? What do I have? What do I have? What do I have? What can I trade? Anything. I will just, you know, use all of my thingies to get exalted through the currency exchange. But I think he just made a mistake and he's not even gonna answer. But just in case, you know. Yeah, I'm telling you, he just got around 4,000 whispers. Okay, so I'm gonna be like, hey, do you still have this? Merry Christmas, love you. But yeah, 100% he doesn't have it. It's a mistake because, and you know, let's get back to the trading side. This item increase the bonuses of your equipped rings, right? And it can go up to 80. This is 77. This is like the best, right? But if we look around, it's like 55, 12 divine. You know, we want to have at least close to 70%, preferably above. Okay, so here's the cheapest one that's close to 70%. This is 68%. 15 divine. Now let's have a look at how much currently is 1 divine. So I want, where is it 1 divine, and I actually don't, so I cannot check. Okay, let's do the other way around. Do I have Divine Orb? I don't, because I have this. Let me get this back. Let me cancel this trade. Okay. Let me get my one Divine Orb that I was lucky to loot back. So I will do like, I want Exalted Orb and I have Divine Orb, right? So now it's 76 and a half Exalted Orbs for one Divine, okay? 76 and a half. Let's do 76 and a half multiplied by 15. Okay, so this is 1147 Exalted for the cheapest utility belt that we want, around like the 70%, right? Over 1000 Exalted Orbs. And now we get to the last item that makes this so overpowered, like so overpowered that, yeah, like I said, unborn child can play this, your cat can play this, anyone can play this. You can roll over your keyboard and you will still perform better than you know, anything. Let's refresh this. And that is the Dream Fragments Sapphire Ring. Now, what this does is that it increases your max mana. You see that synergy now? I mean, it's insane. And you can get this higher, okay? It's 20% always, right? 20% increased max mana always. But you can get this higher by, first of all, using your quality mana modifiers, which of course you want to use on this ring. So that's 24%, and I think I saw someone even corrupt that, and there was like 20. Here's 25%. Here's 27. The 26, I mean, and here's the ring corrupted. That it is 28% increased max mana. Okay, 28% increased max mana. The price is 500 divine. 76.5 multiplied by 500. 38,250 Exalted Orbs. Almost 40,000 now. Obviously you can get like the cheaper ones, right? And then you can, you know, you can try yourself. Let's say you will get this one, right? It already has the quality, it's 24%, and you can try to corrupt it to get it even higher, or you can, you know, just keep it like this. You can just keep it like this, have the 24% and be happy, you know. But it's still 80 multiplied by 76, 76.5, and that is over 6,000 Exalted Orbs. That's unimaginable for most people, at least right now, you know. And the prices will only gonna go, you know, higher with the inflation. So it will get harder and harder to get these items for like a bit more casual players. So yeah, this is pretty insane. But the synergy, you know, the ring will increase your max mana. Like my max mana is like nothing right now, you know. I don't have, like, my items are pretty random. Like, I mean, they're not bad. I'm not saying they're like bad or anything, but they're pretty random, you know, like max life, which I don't need, dexterity on both rings, you know, 18 max mana on my weapon, you know. Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just not as good as a lot of people have them, right? And so there are people running around even without the ring with like 5,000 mana or close to 5,000 mana. Okay, then you increase that mana through the Sapphire Ring. So let's say you will get another, you know, over 1,000 mana. Now, because you increase the max mana, if you're also playing Everlasting Gaze Amulet, then the max mana will increase the energy shield that you get from Everlasting Gaze Amulet. And then if you also have the Ingenuity Belt at, let's say, 70%, and you got the 24, you know, so the 24 multiplied by 1.7, so it's 41%. So suddenly your max mana is increased by 41%. You can, get this higher if you get the 80% belt, and if you get, the corruption like we saw with the 27%. So if you do like 27 multiplied by why do I keep saying 1.8, then you are looking at 49% increased max mana. You can be running around with like 8,000 mana, which will then turn, if you're also using the Everlasting Gaze Amulet, into, with all of the passives to increase shield, etc., into like 20,000 shield or 15,000 shield. It's literally the most brain dead, the most overpowered sorceress build you can get. And then of course, if you have 8,000 mana, you can just imagine how much damage you get through Archmage. Now my Archmage has 20% quality. You really want your quality to be 20% on your Archmage buff, because that will increase the spell gain. As you can see, additional effects from quality, 2% extra. Okay, and then of course you want the really high level of this buff, because that will also increase that value, because you are starting at 5, but now you can see my base is already 6%, not 5, right? So I'm at 8. So yeah, like my damage increase is nothing. It is nothing right now, but it can get to disgusting values. You can have like 100,000 spark damage, no problem. 100,000 spark damage DPS. Let's go, baby, let's go. All of that thanks to this insane synergy of items. So if you are lucky, or if you like gambling, then of course you can use your Orb of Chance to maybe get those items. But for some reason, and I think I still have that belt here, utility belt, level 55. Okay, so this should potentially turn into the Ingenuity utility belt, because, and that belt is also level 55, so this should work. But as you can see, it doesn't. I'm not sure why. You simply cannot. And this is like, I got like 3 of these and none of them worked. So I am probably missing something. Okay, but maybe I need higher level of the utility belt still. I don't know. Okay, but yeah, if you got Chaos Orb of Chance, then you can, keep gambling with normal items. Especially I don't have any Sapphire ring that's like normal, so that we can try doing it. But yeah, Sapphire ring, probably the best item ever to use it for. And if we have a look at the level of the item. Okay, so it's not even limited. So it's not even limited to for the like normal Sapphire ring to be a given like level before you can have a chance to get this. You can get any level 12, as you can see, ring, and try using your. Okay, and my game froze. This is what happens quite a lot, and then I have to do this and go back, and now it works. But yeah, like Orb of Chance, just keep on gambling Sapphire rings. I tried one, I got the Pulsarkelm, I don't know how to pronounce that ring. Unfortunate, but even if you are not a sorceress, if you want to make a lot of currency, a lot of money, then yeah, just keep on gambling Sapphire rings. Then eventually you can make 40,000 exalted orbs. So I hope you liked the video, and that if you are lucky to have these items, you know how lucky you are, and what crazy stuff you can do with these. And see you in the next one. Ciao.